Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Anything's Liverpool pre-game match against Aston Villa tomorrow. If you're new to our show, please give us a like, subscription, or a follow, and click that like button so you can keep up to date with notifications of our upcoming streams. Today, we're going to talk about the Premier League game tomorrow against Aston Villa, and today I'm joined by Craig, Toby, and Daniel. It looks like Daniel has some technical issues, so we will hope he will get that sorted. Stop you, Toby. You all right today?
Oh, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if I was on mute. But yeah, I'm doing good today. Ready to talk about the Reds. After a frustrating Wednesday, but I guess that's to be expected because, well, we didn't have our many of our starters on the bench or even playing in our starting 11. But hey, Premier League game tomorrow, so I'm ready for that one.
Yeah. Uh, when you're not talking, can we mute the microphone so we don't get the background noise? There, excellent. Craig, you all right there? Are you excited for tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not excited. I'm finding it difficult to get excited at the minute, the way things are going. But it's another game. It's a big game. Um, it's a must win. Let's see what happens tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Well, come quarter to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Daniel, how are you doing? You all right? Everything's good?
Yeah, I just had to go to the bathroom before it started. It just took a little bit longer than I was expecting. Listen, we have long streams, and Toby knows whenever I'm in a stream, I'm going to go for a while. So gotta get the bathroom breaks in while you can. Yeah, no, I mean overall I'm good. I was probably the only person that was not as disappointed in the result or the lineup from Wednesday against Palace at home. I mean, yeah, sucks to lose the way we did. I actually thought that a lot of the youth players played pretty well. I think Ramsey has shown what I've always thought, which is that he's a very, very good right back. It's part of the reason why at the beginning of the summer I didn't think we would buy Frimpong, was because there has to be something with Ramsey. I thought that was going to be a thing that they would want to experiment with. I remember some rumors saying that he's not registered for the squad, but I don't know if that's true or not. With registration, because I think we bought him when he was either 20 or 19. So he's either homegrown or he take up a registration spot. I'm not 100% sure at that, but if he is available, I would like to see more of Calvin Ramsey with Connor Bradley and Frimpong, and less Dom Soboslai going to right back. Not because Dom's done a bad job, but because we looked good when players were kind of playing in a set position and not trying to do as much fluid multitasking as we've kind of had to do for the first 2 months
Well, I
because of
agree. I think
injuries,
I think
and everything else.
yeah, I think that first of all, you're not the only one who didn't really get too sad about the result on Wednesday. I was hoping that we would play at that kind of team. So for me, I was very excited to see that we gave a lot of the youngsters the possibility and rested as many of the first team players we could, because we do have a lot of injuries and we do have more important games coming up. So for me, this was a calculated loss from Slott's side. I think it was necessary that he did those choices he did. I think the guys played fairly well, and with a bit of luck that we don't have today, we could have got a goal early, and yeah, the game would have changed. I think today we're going to start with. I think since Daniel kind of brought it up, the injuries is a problem for us, and I think we we have a lot of injuries already, and we have players who have been injured during preseason, didn't have any preseason, will come into the form fairly late, and we have players like Frimpong and Maka and all these guys who come back, play 5 minutes, then go out again. They don't get games enough to get into shape. And I'm afraid this is going to hurt us in the long run as well. I think one thing is getting players fit, but when they come in and out of the injury room, I think that's going to be a big problem for us and maybe hurt us for I don't know, many weeks. Craig, do you see the injuries as a potential big problem in the future? Do you think it is a problem that has been an issue up to now as well?
It's a genuine concern for me at the minute, because when you look at last season, we hardly had any injuries whatsoever. I think Alisson Becker, he's missed 59 games for Liverpool through injury. And Ernie Slot said in his press conference this morning, quite a few of the lads have not had a pre-season, so you can understand why they're picking these injuries up. Biggest example of this for me is your £130 million striker, Alexander Isak. But the only reason he's picked that up is because he decided to go and strike at Newcastle. If he'd have played for Newcastle, maybe he'd have been playing tomorrow. We don't know, but it's a concern. But if you remember last season, Ernie Slot said he wanted a smaller squad. He didn't want a squad of 25. So now he's down to a bare 16. That's why you saw the team on the bench, what you saw on Wednesday night. So, yeah, I'm a bit concerned, but I mean, I don't know what the 11's going to be tomorrow, but I wouldn't play Joe Gomez. I'm sorry, but, and no, Pastor Jones is injured, isn't he? So Stephen won't be happy about that, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm concerned, but I don't think the lads in the treatment room are doing anything different, the backroom staff. It just depends how quick the lads are. But Frimpong's out for 6 weeks now, I believe. I don't want to put a down on Mr. Frimpong, but I don't think he's going to make it at Liverpool. And I don't think Kirkers will either. But I wonder what you think of that.
I think that's too early to say. But when it comes to injuries, they can happen during preseason as well. So when it comes to regarding the Isak one, he could have gotten a knock during preseason and be out as well. But Toby, what about you? Do you see this as a big issue, or maybe one of the reasons why we have played like we have? And do you see it as a big problem in the upcoming weeks and maybe months?
I see it as right now as a minor issue, because injuries can build up over time. But my biggest concern is, with all these injuries starting to pile up, is how this is going to affect team chemistry, right? We have a lot of new players on this team. We mentioned Isak, Frimpong, Florian Wirtz. Well, we're going to keep Florian Wirtz out of this for right now and stick with Frimpong and Isak. Those are the two that are injured. Well, if they're constantly getting injured, right, how are we supposed to build the chemistry with these players? How are they supposed to get acclimated with the team? And how are certain players supposed to understand their instincts, right? Craig, I think you alluded this back on the weekend against Brentford, but we need to get back to basics, right? We really need to get back to basics. Well, how are we supposed to get back to basics when half these players are getting injured? So that's my concern going forward. I hope that right now, for me, it's just it's a minor issue, but it can build up. And I don't think we're winning the Premier League this year. So that means we need to readjust our goal. At least I think it was Robbie Musto that said it in the two Robbie's podcasts. I don't know if anybody likes listening to them, but I certainly like listening to Robbie's Musto's analysis. But he was saying the new goal should be top 4 for Liverpool. I know that sucks because we all want to win the Premier League, but if we keep playing at this current form, you could throw a Premier League trophy out the window.
I agree. I don't listen to those podcasts, but I've said in the group chat that I've adjusted my own expectations for this season to top 4. I know it's a long way. I think a lot can still happen, and if we go on a good run and somehow no bad run, anything can happen. But Daniel, we like Toby says, we have a lot of new players who has to find their way. And when we then have players in and out of injuries, that doesn't help with relationships on the field as well. And like you said, when Dominic has to play out of position as well, it doesn't kind of help with the relation building in a team, and it doesn't help with the fluency and getting to know the new and the old players. Do you think the injuries is a cause of the problems we are in? And looking ahead, do you think can be a big problem?
I mean, it really depends. I think that we're essentially living in a reality where we've just reverted to the opposite side of what we were doing at the start of the season. So for the first 5 games, we were, playing well in patches and playing bad in patches, and we were scraping wins. In the previous games that we've lost outside of Brentford, still the same, played good in patches, played bad in patches, but we lost. So if you want to say that those games were coin flip games at times, by the law of statistics, we lost 4 in a row because of that coin. We were lucky for 5, and now we're unlucky for 4. I know it's not directly luck. We haven't played consistently as well. In terms of injuries, we only have 3. Well, right now we only have 2 starters that are out injured, in Becker and Frimpong that did start. Isak is obviously, I think, game to game. I think it's more that they just don't want to risk him because he does have that groin discomfort. He's not out long term, and I think Jones is also probably not going to be at Villa. I imagine, because is this at Villa or at Anfield? I should know this. Anfield. It is at Anfield. Yeah, I'm curious as to he'll have the risk Isak or Curtis with being a short turnaround. My guess is no. I think he's going to wait until they can get as much as he can out of really Isak is the big one that we're not benefiting from spending all that money on a striker. Like, Isak will come good. As much as me and C like to joke in the chat, and as much as I would have loved Nick Voltemade, and I raved about him all summer, and I said, look, he's good. This is what he's good at. I have all the data, the video clips, everything to show you this is what he's good at. Newcastle got him, and he looks good for Newcastle. It is what it is. The thing about injuries with any team, it's about how do you react to injuries. Because the thing about injuries is that do you get cluster injuries? Do you get them in one position? We don't have cluster injuries. We have one center back who was the youth center back out long-term in Leone. We have Becker out with his hamstring because he just pulls hamstring because of those Brazilian barbecues. But I like Marmadashvili. I don't think he's been amazing so far, but I think he's been good in possession. Oddly enough, I thought he would be not as good kicking the ball, but he's been very good in possession. And Frimpong, who I think has had it tough at times. And I think he's shown his lack of core strength, I would say, to play right back. I don't think he's bad at right back so far, but I think he's been exposed in the sense that I think at times he gets bullied way too easily. And I think it's just the fact that he's just not up to the Prem level yet in terms of physicality. Same with Wirtz, but I think Wirtz is, again, you've seen moments where in games where Wirtz gets better and better. But this is where, like, you have a Ramsey, or in terms of what Craig said about Kirkez or Frimpong not making it at Liverpool, I think that's really harsh for October. We're 2 months in. I think this is for fullbacks. I get what he's saying, but I feel like that's very harsh on both the fullbacks on them. Go ahead, Ar.
But the point is, the injuries maybe in themselves, even though they're not long term, is maybe not a big problem. But when you have a lot of new players,
yeah, but I don't think
on top of that, and then the relations, when one day you have Frimpong as right back, and then you have Sob, and then you have Bradley, and then you have Ramsey. It's hard to fit in. Also, it creates friction all over.
It can. I think the problem with that is not so much the injuries itself, but how Slot has reacted to them, in the sense that he's made Dom try to fill too many roles. Like, if Bradley got injured, you put Frimpong, then Ramsey. If you just went strict on your right back, like, look, you're a right back, I'm putting it right back. I don't care if it's a youth player, I'm backing you. I don't want to say the way Arteta does, but that's what Mikel Arteta does a lot of Arsenal, is that he'll throw a youth player on just to say, look, this is the role you're going to do. Listen, I'm not giving him praise for this, but I'm saying that Slot, I think as time has doubted the ability of his own players to do that, in a sense of, that's really the problem. It's the only player I would say, or the 2 players I think that I've had the chemistry problems, is Isak and Frimpong. Frimpong kind of, but he hasn't really played consistently, so I can't say that. But really, Isak is the one I would say that's not benefited from injuries. But in terms of our team chemistry, they're all new. It's not even the fact that players are injured; it's that they're just all new. I would say that Wirtz and Dom look to have a partnership. And the fact that Salah has played well below his expectations for a myriad of reasons that I think that we all know, Jota being dead, a year older, like the psychology of them just trying to go out and play when, you know, your mate's dead. It's hard to do. Like, this is a workplace and you're having to go work. I know it's the best job in the world and you're paid millions and millions of pounds, you know, suck up, get
But they're
over it.
still humans.
Yeah, they're still human. And I'm not using that to excuse Salah, because Salah could put Chiesa in, who has been not injury prone. He's been very injury consistent this year so far. Knock on wood, knock on all the wood in the world. But I think you can see that we don't have a lot of injuries in terms of long-term injuries, and they're not all major. They're all niggling injuries, so we can get over them.
But like, I'm not trying to pronounce that name. It says, I think injuries are an excuse. The squad is unbalanced.
I don't think Mark Ahey solves any of this. That's the thing.
No, I don't think I don't think that's the key problem. And I'm not using injuries an excuse. I'm using it as a plausible reason for it. It's adding to the lack of chemistry in the team. Craig, you still think injuries is part of the problem, or do you think it's just an excuse, like people say in the chat here?
No, I think injuries are part and parcel of football. The thing is, with injuries, you've got to prepare right. You've got to warm up right. If you don't warm up right, then you're going to get injured. You've got to train right. You've got to eat right. You've got to sleep right. There's so much you've got to do. I mean, we only see the guys pre-warming up for matches and then playing the games. Ernie Slot sees them 24/7. So, in respect to Ernie Slot and his backroom staff, this is the first time Ernie Slot's ever been in a position like this, because when he was at Feyenoord, he didn't have this. He never had issues like this, and the other club he managed in Ireland. So this is new to him. It's new territory for Ernie Slot. Everybody's writing him off, but this is his team now. Last season it was Jurgen's team, so he's got credit in the bank for me. I think, you know. Also, what's going to be mentioned is Virgil van Dijk on Monday called an emergency meeting with the entire squad and the coaching staff. Now, the captain took it upon himself to call the meeting, not Ernie Slot. So there was a big meeting, and they've all spoken at depth about it. They're not concerned, they're disappointed, and they're hurting, and they want to put it right. So when you're hurting and you want to put it right, there's no real good time to play Liverpool, because I've seen us when we're hurting, I've seen what we can do, and we're not a nice team to play. The thing is, I think Slot, he will turn it round. I'm not throwing the towel in on the league yet, like the voice of reason or treason, whichever it is. It is treason because it's Halloween, so but I'm not throwing the towel in on the league yet, I think, because mathematically we can still win it. We've only played 9 games. I think if we lose to Villa, we're making it a little bit more harder on ourselves, because Arsenal have got Burnley, and that's a 3-pointer straight away. So I just think the lads, they know what they've got to do tomorrow. I hope that the actual Anfield crowd turn up tomorrow, because I'm sorry, but on Wednesday night they were shite. It was like a library. I mean, and I've been going for over 50 years, so it was shocking. All you could hear about the Crystal Palace fans. There was only 3,000 of them. So, but no, I think injuries, it's horses for courses, and I agree with you, Elwood. It will even itself out, but it's, for me, I still don't think Arnie Slot knows his best 11 yet.
No, and this is also a question, Toby. Like Shaban says, no way injuries ain't the reason. Well, again, like Craig said here, this is now Slot's team. Like last year, it was Klopp's team. Well, due to the injuries, he hasn't kind of gotten to play his team yet. You know, I mean, there are people who's been injured, and one thing is out of form and the death of Jota. But when Frimpong's been injured a couple of times, Bradley's been in and out. Isak hasn't kicked in yet. I mean, if these are his players and he can't use them, it's hard for him to use his team. So the injuries has to play a part in it, because I don't think the backroom staff are doing anything different this year than last year. I think we're still eating right. I think we're still warming up right. I think we're still practicing right. But when you have these niggles and naggles, that will be a problem. Or do you disagree, Toby?
So I'll go back to my original answer. Yeah, like it'll be a minor like minor issue for me, but it could pile up. Right now, what we're seeing, at least in my opinion, is just us not playing well, and I think that will be our biggest downfall going forward. That's if we continue going the way we are. But injuries are part of the game. They can pile up at some. Yes, I get the reasoning that hey, injuries cannot are not an excuse. But at some point, they do become an excuse, right? It depends on just where that fine line is for you. For me, it's just like most of your I want to say key players from the starting 11 go down, and that's when it becomes excusable. But once again, I'm going to leave that up to the viewer, leave it up to y'all to decide when injuries are excusable. But currently, right now, I think it's more so of how the team's playing and the fact that we're not doing the basics right, and the fact that we're getting beat in these big moments.
Yeah, especially set pieces. So, but
Stealing possession. That's what I like to call it, stealing possession.
yeah, I think we'll move over to our next topic, and that is, I think we're going to start with the predictions. I think we're going to start with predictions about starting 11, result, performance, probably tactics if we have a preference there. Daniel, what are you predicting starting lineup? Do you think it'll be a 4-3-3 or go back to the Frankfurt 4-4-2? And what's your 11?
It's gonna be 4-3-3. It's going to be probably Kirkes, Van Dijk, Konate, Marmadashvili, Bradley, Grav. I think if he's ready to go, Grav and Dom, and I think it'll probably be a mix of Grav, Ormaka, Dom, Florian, Salah, Ekatike, and Gakpo. I think it's his best 11 at the moment. I think that's the best 11 you have, given things. Now he might decide that he doesn't want to risk Bradley, and he starts Dom at right back. But I think that's probably the best 11 you can go with. If Bradley can play, if Ramsey can play, I'd keep him on the bench as your backup right back. And in terms, I think that's the lineup he's going to go with. And there's nothing really I would do different except for maybe Chiesa for Salah or Gakpo, but that's never going to happen. I know people call for it. Mo Salah has the biggest contract in Liverpool history. He is going to play 95% of the games. That's just how this works. Even though he's out of form and people say, well, no one should be bigger player than the club. I'm sorry, this is not the 1970s, 1980s. He is going to play. I don't know any way you're going to do that. And plus the players are going to expect Salah to be on the field because they're like, well, we know how good he is. Like, why are you not playing him? I don't expect Chiesa to start. I would like to see Chiesa get more than like 5 or 10 minutes. I'd like to see him get 25 or 30 if he has to play. If nothing else, then just giving a better option on the left wing with Gakpo, or through the middle with Ekatike. But I think he's going to try and keep that solid. And again, I think you have to play Wirtz and Dom together. They just have such a good partnership together. And to Toby's question, where we're vulnerable at the moment is that we lose possession in the mid block. So when we're in the middle third, and then teams are hitting us direct into the channels because we're moving out of our possession shape. We're moving out of defensive shape into our possession shape. So fullbacks are tucking in, everyone's getting into position to receive the ball. That's usually when you're the most vulnerable. It's no different than what some of the issues with Wenger at Arsenal. Villa are a mid-block pressing team. I expect them to do that, to have a high line, but only press in the mid-block. So I expect them to play exactly like Brentford, try to win the duels and everything else. And honestly, the thing is that if we win our duels, we win the game. If you want to understand how like the metric of a Liverpool team winning is that we have to win our duels. If we're not winning our duels, like we usually don't win. And it's not because, we're bad or because, the other team's just amazing. It's that the way we play, because it is a high wire act under Klopp and under Slot, that we play a high wire possession-based attacking side, you have to win your duels. And if you don't win your duels, then you have to cover your ass. And at the moment, we're not winning enough duels. We're not covering our ass enough. And our press is still being tweaked. And that's why it looks the way it does, is because, again, it's a completely new side.
I half agree with the duels, because I feel we do win a good amount of duels. The problem is we never win the second ball. And
That's what I mean. Like, a player might win a duel, so
Yeah.
Dom might win duels or Graf, but then Maka's losing all his duels, or Gakpo, or Salah's been losing a lot of his duels. That's been the big thing, is that Salah on that right wing, because he does not press, and he's usually the highest player up, him or Gakpo. If Salah's not winning his duels, the right side of the field is essentially open from like the front line to the mid block.
Or the fact that we win the duel, but the guy who's going to pick up the second ball isn't nowhere to be seen because he's too far away. So that's Toby. What's your predicted starting 11? Who do you go what you expect to see, or do you kind of go with what you want to see?
Yeah, so my starting 11 is similar to Dan, excuse me. But except for Kirk is starting on the left, I have Robertson starting on the left. And I'll get back to that reason here in a minute. And with Gravenberch, with his stats, I get that he could start this game, but it seemed like Slot was kind of up in the air with that. It's kind of a wait and see approach. I have McAllister starting there just because we don't know for sure, but I would not be surprised to see Gravenberch start. If Gravenberch's good to go, then I believe he will start. Now, for Robertson and Kirk being in for Kirkus, I just don't think Kirkus looks comfortable at the moment, and he's really struggled in that left back position. I know it hasn't been terrible, but I think at this point you should let Robertson get more starts. Just because right now Kirk is something's not working there. Something's not working on that left side. So I would like to see Robertson get the start here in this game, and maybe sub on Kirkus later on, maybe around the 60, 70 minute mark. And Dan kind of alluded to this too with Chiesa. I don't think he's going to start. It'd be nice, but I don't think so, because Salah, he's going to start every game. Then Gakpo, I'm a Gakpo believer, so but I do think he should be getting more minutes. He shouldn't be coming in last 5-10 minutes, just getting playing time. No, I think he should be coming in around the 60-minute mark, 70-minute mark, because he has shown to be an impact player on this team. And I kind of want to say that that is something that we've been missing on this team. Not just like having star players, but having role players. It seems like compared to last season, last season we had players who knew their role. That they knew that they weren't star players, but they had a role to play. Throw out Darwin Nunez, for example. Yes, we knew the guy missed a lot of his shots, right? And he was frustrating to watch. But you could put him into the game, and he can inject the team with new life. He played with a lot of passion, a lot of fire, right? And when the team was just tired and was just lacking energy, you could just put Darwin Nunez in there and let him help build the spirit of the team. And so I think Chiesa fills that role player role where, hey, he's not a big star player, but he does have a role to play on the team.
Yeah. Greg, I'm excited to hear what you think. Is your lineup what you think you're going to see, or is it a mix of what you think and want to see?
Well, I think obviously the big hitters are going to come back tomorrow. That's pretty obvious. The first name on the team sheet for me tomorrow is Hugo Ekitike. He's got to be the first name on that team sheet every week now. With our left back, the young man from Hungary, Mr. Kirkes. Unfortunately for me, the shirt weighs too heavy for him. He can't handle the responsibility of wearing a Liverpool shirt. I think it's too big for him. It's weighing too heavy at the minute. And Virgil van Dijk.
Too early to say?
No. When you look at his performances last season, he was the best left back in the Premier League, and everybody wanted him. We paid 35 million for him, near 40. Virgil van Dijk doesn't trust him. You can tell, because look how Virgil's being caught out of position. The thing is, and I agree with everything Toby said, it's about getting back to basics. Teams have figured Liverpool out now with the football they were playing last year to this year. The slow, methodical build up, the bypassing that, the playing long ball. They can play a long ball all they want. Virgil and Canate are going to win the headers. The problem is, they're winning the first ball. There's nobody picking the second balls up. And if you watch and if you look at the game against, doesn't have to be Crystal Palace. You can look at the game at the weekend before it. The amount of times we give possession away, it was every pass. We couldn't string a 5-yard pass together. It was shocking. For professional footballers, it was horrendous. Now, so my starting 11, which you've already asked before, obviously the goalkeeper is a no-brainer. So Giorgio goes in. It's got to be Andy Robertson at left back. He can't play Kirkes. I'm sorry, no. He might as well keep his tracksuit on because he's not coming off the bench either. It's going to be Virgil and Canate. You can't play Joe Gomez. And then, obviously, it's going to be young Connor at left back. I just hope young Connor gets the support he should be getting, because he ain't getting the help from Mo Salah. And I don't care how big your contract is or how much money you're on. You're not too big for a track back. So if Salah deserves a Bellickin, he should get one. Right? I'm sorry, but he should. I'd like to see us play 4-4-2. But I think he'll play 4-3-3. So it's going to be, I think, when you guys have said there with Gravenberch, he's up in the air. I think Slot's doing a Pep Guardiola tactic here. Gravenberch is playing tomorrow. If he's trained twice today, he's playing tomorrow. No bones about that. So it's got to be McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in midfield. Florian Wirtz in the front of them. Obviously, you've got Toby's mate on the left, because we've not got anybody else unless you want to call young Rio in. And I agree with you, Toby, 100%. I don't know what Federico Chiesa's going to do to get a start, apart from the League Cup game. If I was Federico Chiesa, I'd be asking for a transfer, because he's been treated like something you trod in. We call it dog shit over here. I don't know what you call it in America, but no, I love Federico Chiesa, and it's killing me watching him get treated like this. He's a better player than that. So it's going to be more on the right, Etitike up front, Gakpo on the left, and then your three musketeers in midfield with Florian Wirtz. And I'm not worried about him at all. Wirtz. Why is everybody digging him out? He's 22-year-old. Everybody from Germany is backing him. His teammates are backing him. His international teammates are saying, we don't see what the issue is. Jurgen Klimman's come out and backed him. Jurgen Klopp's come out and backed him. So, they can see what a generational talent he is. I just think, for me, we've got to, going back to what Toby said, we've got to be hard to beat. We've got to do the basics right. We're too easy to beat. There's no physicality in this team. If you look at us, but there's some big 6'4" lads in there, but where's the physicality on from last year? We need to sort of roll our sleeves up now and no more Mr. Nice Guy. Let's show them what Liverpool are about. But I think that's what we'll go with. But what do I know? I'm just a fan like everybody else. But yeah, it's painful. But you've just got to back Liverpool and support them. But it's a biggie. I think this could be right. Before I say Villa, I honestly believe, I've thought about it since Wednesday night. It's a blessing in disguise, this, because when you look at the draw, what came out, did you really want to go to Arsenal away? No thanks. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. So this could be a blessing in disguise for us, and hopefully tomorrow night, Sunday morning, we'll all be a lot happier.
Well, yeah, I'm glad we didn't have to go to Arsenal away. So I agree with you on that one. I'm kind of agreeing with a lot of what you say, guys, but I think, of course, the goalie Mama is going to start the game. Of course, I think Van Dijk and Konate are the centre backs. I think Kirkis is going to start. The reason why I think that is because Robo played the match on Wednesday. So I think that is why Kirkis is going to play. Would I prefer Robo? Yeah, maybe. But I think that's the reason why he starts. I would really like to see Ramsey on right back. If that's going to happen, I don't think it will, but I would like to see him as a kind of a reward for the game on Wednesday.
Yeah.
When it comes to the midfield, I think he's going to play 4-3-3. I think he also is going to play, if it's possible, I think he's going to try and play as much as the players he used last year. That means Sobo, Gravenberg, and McAllister. I think those guys are going to be in the midfield if they are ready and available. I mean, I think, like you guys mentioned, Gravenberg will play because he's trained and it looks like he's ready. The only uncertainty I have is Maka. And if he doesn't play, I think Wirtz will step in there. As you guys also said, I would have loved to see Chiesa up at right wing. We all know that's not going to happen. So that's going to be Salah. And then it's Hugo Ekitike and Gakpo on the left. I think that is what we're going to see. Possibly, if he doesn't play Chiesa in the middle and Hugo Ekitike on the left. That is also an option. But I think that will be my predicted 11 for this game. And to all who are watching us, if you're new to Anything Liverpool, please give us a like, subscribe, and follow, and give us a subscription so you can follow us on our upcoming streams and videos on our channels. I think we're now going to the final topic of today, and that is the topic of is this well, how shall I say? Is this a must-win? Is the season ruined if we don't win tomorrow? Because after that we have a pretty hefty couple of games before we meet Forest. We have Real Madrid and we have City. I don't think we're going to get anything out of those two games at all. So for me, it is very important for the team that we win tomorrow, that we can kind of have that going into the next couple of games. Daniel, what are your thoughts? Do you think is it a must-win now? I mean, one thing is the win and the points. Another thing is the performance we put down. Do you think it's kind of a make or break? I mean, as you know, it's still a long way to go, but I kind of feel we're close to that point where we can't sit and say, "Oh, it's going to turn around." I mean, do you think we are at that cross point now?
I don't want to get existential about it. I think that we just get our heads into really bad tailspins, as you guys know from our group chats. That everyone finds himself in a bad headspace where every game and every kick is the most existential thing that ever happened in the existence of Liverpool Football Club. No. But I feel that you need to stop the bleeding somewhere. And what I mean that is in the league. We got to win in Europe. I'm not really worried about Europe. I don't care about the Carabao Cup. I'm sorry. People were talking about it as something that can kick you on. Klopp threw away the cup for years and was slandered in the media about it. And we were finishing fourth with like 60 or 70 points. So listen, if Jurgen's allowed to throw the cups, Slot's allowed to throw the cups away. Though I think Slot had a plan, and had we scored a goal early on or one of those chances kind of does a little bit better, the game could have gone a different way after Palace were rattled. But obviously, once they score, it is what it is. I think that what Liverpool need most from this game is the bleeding stops, even if it's a draw. Like if it's a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw, but you showed grit and you just have to stop losing at this point. This is why one of the reasons why we've lost so many games is that Slot has thrown off all of his defenders and thrown on attackers. He's done the FIFA thing of like change all the center backs off. I mean, because like Palace don't score that equalizer if we have a center back on the field because Gravenberch heads in and goes backwards to Nketiah. I don't think Chelsea win that game if we have Endo if we keep our center backs and Endo is on the field too. Like if Jurgen was in charge, if this was the Jurgen side, I think that ends a draw, Chelsea's a draw, and probably Newcastle's a draw, whatever.
So it's Slot's fault?
I'm saying like Slot is going for the win. It's very Fergie. It's very Ferguson. Like Ferguson had these periods where like United would lose like 4 or 3 in a row at times, and because you'd be going for wins. You can go back and look through United's title winning history where there'd be 2 or 3 games of the bouts where he would be going all out for a win and not get it. I think what you need is that you need the performance to be, we're not going to get kicked around. We're going to be good in possession. And if we have that good performance, I think we win the game. I don't want to say it's make or break because I would say City and Madrid, I think, are more make and break from a psychological point of view. The season's too long for us to be like, we're now top 4 is the only objective. I don't care about the title race. Arsenal are going to make mistakes. I care about, lads, I don't care about like anything that's happening outside. If we don't win the next game, it doesn't matter. And so I think that they need to focus on, we're going to win. We're going to play our best, and you game plan for the win. But if you get a draw, it's not the worst result in the world. Like generally it's not.
But the pressure will mount it, because if we get a draw or lose tomorrow.
But it's something to build off of. You can build off a draw. It's hard to build off a loss. Like it's easier to build off a win.
Yeah, but the point is, everybody kind of expects us to lose against Madrid or City away. I mean,
but City crap. We're 1 point behind City.
Yeah,
Madrid not that good either.
But that won't add pressure because that kind of is more understandable. But losing at home against Villa with a kind of poor performance, that is more damaging for the team than losing away against City.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I'm just saying from the point of view of how, if you have the performance, you'll get the result. I'm just saying the result doesn't have to be a 3-0 comfortable win. It can be a 2-1 scrappy. It can be a 1-1 draw. It can be any sort of result, but the performance needs to be there because that's really what most people are harping on. If we were performing well and having bad results, like half the discourse in Liverpool fan channels would not be the same. If you get the performance, you will get the result, especially against Villa. They have a slightly better defensive record than us at the moment, but their attacking is not as good. Even though they do have Watkins, they do have dangerous players. They're not a chumps by any stretch of the imagination. And the way Emery plays is a good counter to how we play, because Emery is very much a direct style of manager, especially with why am I forgetting the Scottish guy's name? The midfielder, John McGinn. Like having a John McGinn is always a pain. So I don't want us to get into a headspace of if we don't win, the world is ending, because it doesn't matter.
But if we don't win, it is kind of logical to start thinking or adjusting your own expectations without abandoning the ship.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying internally they have to set up like, we're going to perform well and we'll deal with the result afterwards. Because if you get so caught up in the result, that's how we get, that's part of the reason why we've had this bad run, is that everyone's too caught up in the result and not how do I make this performance better. fix the performances, the results will eventually fall the way they're supposed to fall. Well, they will generally fall.
I agree, and we had this discussion in the chat from the first game week, where people said, "Well, I'll take this kind of win any day, 38 games a year," and that's not sustainable. It's you have to perform to get the wins. Toby, what do you think? Do you think it's make or break? Do you think? I mean, you and I, we kind of see eye to eye on the top four thing already, but like Danny said, we have to stop the bleeding, and I think we will do it. But there comes a time I think we kind of could, should, or would have stopped it, and I think we're coming to that point now. And what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so I know it might be an unpopular opinion, but I do think the game against Crystal Palace would have been a good opportunity to stop the bleeding. Now, I'm not saying we should have rushed out all of our senior players, but like have some of them on the team for sure. And the reason why I say that is because though we've struggled throughout the season, this losing streak started with Crystal Palace. Ironically enough, Crystal Palace, since beating us, Crystal Palace has only won one game. Throw out the Carabao Cup for a minute. But I thought the last game would have been big for us. Like run out some players, try to get that win, try to stop the bleeding there because Palace has been a tough team for us to beat for a while now. I'd say the last 3 games, but throughout our history. And getting a win against a team like that, who's your kryptonite base essentially, would be huge. It would help boost morale, help psychologically, help like in all sorts of ways. So that's where my frustration lies with the Crystal Palace game. Not because we didn't rush out, this like it's just the fact that we didn't even try. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation in that game. Now going to Villa, I do think it's an important game. Um, in terms of how you see it, if you want to see it from the lens of keep us in the title race, then yes, it becomes a must-win game. Um, but if you want to lower expectations a bit and say top 4 run, then I say it's an essential game, but I'm not going to say a must-win game. But somewhere along the way, you need to stop the bleeding. You need to get back to winning ways because the poor form that we're in right now is unacceptable. Let's just call for what it is. It's unacceptable. This should not be happening. And the way that we're losing these games is unacceptable. But
So,
so
Toby, can I ask you another question then?
yeah.
Kind of what, based on what Daniel also said. What will you be more pleased with? A draw and a really good performance, or a scrappy 3-0 win where we don't see any progression?
Great question. Great question, Harry. Just gut reaction right off the bat, a draw, but a good performance because that good performance carries on. But
Yeah.
if you win it's great. We all love winning. But if you win, but if like it's a half-assed effort or there's a lot of holes in the way we won, it doesn't breed confidence. Excuse me. Now that's why I would say the 1-1 draw or 2-2 draw, but a good performance helps the team build on that. And I would love to see that a great game from Florian Wirtz and a great game from Salah.
Yeah, I think the performance is more confident building in the long run than the result, because if you do give a good performance, you have the foundation, like Daniel pointed out. The results will come because you're doing the right things. If you just half-ass it, like you say, there is a probability like you can start thinking about the early games. Well, we won, but we played shit, and that can be a problem in the end. So I agree, Toby. Craig, I will
Yeah.
ask you the same question. Do you think it's kind of a make or break? I mean, I think Slot needs a win now. First of all, I mean, one thing is what we need, the club needs, the players need. But if Slot's not going to be hunted down more and more, I think he also needs a win. But what about you? Do you think we're close to a breaking point where the kind of the season is
That,
looking shabby?
no, I think I think that is it. Is it make or break? I think after 9 games in, I think everybody's pushing the panic button too soon. I don't normally look at the league table till after 10 or 15 games.
But if you
right?
don't look at the league table,
You know,
Craig,
I don't.
no, but if you
Because
don't look at the
let-
league table,
Let me
you
explain.
yeah,
right?
but the performance haven't been good anyway.
Right, okay, so this is the chicken and the egg question then. So you've asked me if it's make or break. I don't think it's make or break at all. The thing is, Villa started off like we did, and now they've won the last 5, and we've lost the last 5. So you've got 2 teams which have switched around completely. It's not make or break. It is a big game. Every game you play for Liverpool is a big game, regardless of who it is. But the chicken and the egg question is, what would you sooner have, the 3 points or a good performance? If you get a good performance, it doesn't guarantee you 3 points. You can only beat what's in front of you. Now, I'm not going to sit here. Most Liverpool fans let their heart rule their head, and on this game tomorrow, I'm not letting my heart rule my head. I think we'll lose 2-1. I think we'll get beat. I just can't see how he's going to turn it round on the training ground in 7 days. Even though he rested all the big guns on Wednesday night, I just think, we're going to get beat. We know what it's going to be like. You know what it's going to be like if it happens. I hope I'm wrong. Hope to God I'm wrong. But if it does end up where we lose, and that's what's 6 games on the bench we've lost, and we're 10 points behind Arsenal, which is a 4-game return. We play Arsenal on the 8th of January at 8 o'clock away. So I think if Liverpool win, it's a stepping stone. We need to win. We're capable of winning. You just don't. At the moment, I don't know what Liverpool team's going to turn up. We're in the same predicament Man United were 3 games ago. You didn't know what Man United team. Hang on, hear me out. You didn't know what Man United team were turning up, but they came to Anfield and they did a job. Ruben Amorim got his tactics spot on that afternoon, regardless of who you like him or not. He got his tactics right. Arne Slot didn't. But the thing is, it's turn the page, we go again. So if we come Saturday night, 10 o'clock, Liverpool have beat Villa. We've got 3 points on the board. We've took a step in the right direction. It's not make or break. It's not the end of the world like our friend from over the pond said. It isn't the end of the world. I've seen worse teams than this, and I've seen us come back from bigger setbacks than this. And City have come back from 10 points behind and won the league. So at the end of the day, like Toby said, there's a long way to go. There's a lot of football to be played. So you've got to take it one game at a time. And
Craig, I mean, one thing is the result, and as you say, you don't look at the league table so early, and I agree with all that. But the point is, if we had been playing well in all the games and been 8 points behind or 7 points behind, that is a complete different story. But we played shit so far, and that is concerning.
So my question to all 3 of you then, right? We've discussed at length different things. Who the start 11 is going to be and formations and so on and so forth. So to you, Toby, to you, Daniel, and to you, Eddie, right? What is the if you can put your finger on it, what is the main reason Liverpool are playing like they're at the minute? And how do you change it?
Daniel, you can start first.
And how do you change it?
It's chemistry. It takes time. Like it's 100% just chemistry at the moment. I could sum up the pressing structure in chemistry. I could say like Kirk has his inconsistencies with chemistry. Salah's funk is chemistry. His chemistry's off because his mate's dead. Konate is chemistry because his head seems to be turned by that's Francoist club over in Spain.
And injuries.
and injuries haven't helped. Injuries haven't helped. I would say that. I wouldn't say a lot of I wouldn't say a lot of our chemistry issues are down to injuries, but they do play a role. But I would say it's chemistry, and that's why I'm saying that if you look at a snapshot, there's no functional difference between how we were playing in the first 5 games and the last 4 games in the league. The only difference is the result. Like, you still see the same consistencies. You still see us producing chances that we're missing. And then you see us conceding silly goals from set pieces. It's the same in the first 5 and the same in the last 4. So that block of 10 games, a third of the season, well, no, about a fourth of the season, more or less, you see a lot of the same things. It's not that we're like conceding many different types of goals. It's very specific what we're conceding, very much down to chemistry. It affects our structure.
That's the problem I'm trying to address, because
yeah, I agree.
It's not like you said we haven't. That's not like we played real well in the start and then crap. We played crap all the way, but we kind of got away with it in the start because we were winning. So the point is here for me then is we haven't had any progression. It's the same problem we've had now in 9 league games. I mean, if there had been some progression, some way of improvement, I wouldn't have any issues at all. But I'm going to let Toby answer the question instead of me. So answer Craig's question. What do you think is the main problem?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a combination of what Daniel said, in my opinion. But I think the two intertwine with each other. But doing the basics, like doing the small things right. I don't like listening to Tim Howard, even though he is a U.S. men's national team goalkeeper. But I think he was spot on. I think it was this last weekend or 2 weekends ago when he was on NBC the USA Network, talking about why Liverpool is struggling. They're just doing the small things wrong, and this does boil down to chemistry, players not knowing their role, knowing what they're doing basically, and just like losing the second balls. It's just the little things, even passes. Like we see a lot of misplaced passes. I can't tell you how many times I've watched a Liverpool game this year and I've seen just a misplaced pass, just a piss poor pass, and so it's just the little things. Now I'm gonna throw another one out there, and this one I don't like talking about it. It hits a sore spot.
Come on.
Yeah, it hits a sore spot, but I do think Greg, I do think the passing of Diogo Jota plays a part of this as well. Sure, we've brought in a lot of new players, but a lot of the players on our current team, they played with Jota. Imagine how that impacted them.
And Craig has been a forerunner for this for every time. And the funny thing that I've picked up on that is, but we've talked a lot about it, and Craig has been adamant about it, that is a big part. But now it's starting to catch on other places as well. People are starting to kind of pick up on it. Like it actually could be a problem.
It is a problem.
It is.
Because at the end of the day, it's like when I do one of my videos on TikTok, I always say at the end of it, look after each other, take care of each other, because we're here for a short time, not a long time. So, and the thing is as well.
Don't say that to me, Craig.
So there's only 3 people in all of this who are not panicking. If you take 10 steps back, there's 3 people in all of this. We're all investing in Liverpool Football Club. I think Daniel's writing. So I don't know what you're writing there, Daniel. You're scaring me now.
No. I'm just looking up news on Twitter. I'm looking at news, any sports news.
There's 3 people. There's 3 people here, right, who are more invested than what we are, and the fan base, right. And they're the only 3 guys not panicking at all here. That's Ernest Slot, John Henry, and Tom Werner at FSG. They're not panicking at all. They can see what the plan is and what needs to be done. Ernest Slot, listen, you don't become a bad manager in 4 games. Everybody was lauding him last season. And if you go back to this season, guys, it wasn't, 4 or 5 games ago, Sky Sports and TalkSport were saying, Liverpool have had a fantastic summer transfer window. Now, these players they've brought in, You've got to give them time to gel and settle in because they're coming from different countries. Now, because we've lost 5 games in a row, they're saying Liverpool season's over. They can't win the league. This team's not playing well. They've not gelled. Hang on a minute. You was asking everybody to give them time 5 games ago. Now you're writing them off. So which one is it? Make your mind up. You know.
Yeah,
you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's what everybody's doing.
Pundits are like seaweed. They flow in the wind, so they don't have any backbone, like a jellyfish. So we can't listen to them. But there is a problem here. I mean, and like Danny said and Toby said, it's the chemistry, it's the easy mistakes we're doing over and over and again. And it's an easy answer, like Danny said, it's chemistry. But behind that word chemistry is a lot of things. It's the death of Jota, it's new players in, players out of form, players are injured, etc., etc. So there are many small rivers behind that big lake, and that is, and what's concerning for me is, let's say we have 10 different reasons why the chemistry isn't working. I haven't seen we've kind of fixed one of them yet.
So are you 3 guys going to feel completely different if we have a comprehensive 4-0 win tomorrow night then?
No, but then we have progress. If we have a 4-0 win and a rock solid performance, then we have progression.
The thing is, we've not kept a clean sheet for 10 games. That's important. I think if we keep a clean sheet tomorrow, that's you've got to have the building blocks in the right place.
Yeah, but I would rather have 1-0 win than a 3-2 win. For that same reason that you're saying there, Craig.
Yeah.
But the problem is we've played 9 games and cup games and all that. And for all those games, there has been no improvement. And that is, for me, the big problem here. I mean, if we had played shit the first 5-6 games and then got a little better but didn't get the results, I would be okay with it. But there's nothing. And I'm not talking about the Wednesday game because that was a calculated loss anyway.
No, so. I mean, but the thing is, depends how you want to look at it, right? People football fans have got short memories. We played Aston Villa in the League Cup away at Villa Park. Jurgen Klopp put a young side out and we lost 7-1. And he also did the same in the FA Cup away at Plymouth and we got beaten that as well. But they're having a go at Arne Slot here for putting a weakened side out on Wednesday night. So if Jurgen Klopp, like Toby said and Daniel, if it's good enough for Jurgen Klopp to do it, then you can't have a go at Arne Slot because he's got a squad of 19 at the minute. So he did what was right for the club on Wednesday night. I agree. He wasn't thinking about himself. He was thinking about his first 11 and the club, and which was more important. And he thought, right, okay. The most important thing is we don't pick any major injuries up tonight, and I've got a fully fit squad to pick from on Saturday, and we go and get 3 points. That's all he was thinking about.
And I agree with that one. I think we're going to round out now. I have just one more question because I forgot it earlier today, boys. And that's because I'm getting carried away sometimes. So I'm going to start again with you, Danny. What do you predict the result will be tomorrow? What would you realistically? What do you think is going to be the result tomorrow?
2-1 to Liverpool. Because we generate about 2 XG a game and we've been conceding a goal a game. So I'm like, if patterns hold, I think it'll be a 2-1. If we play up to what we can play and what we've shown, and we're less shite at times, it'll be 3-1. If we're less shite and a bit lucky, it'll be 3-0. And like what Craig said, it's also just not about getting a result against Villa. It's about stringing together an improvement building upon. It's like it doesn't matter if we beat Villa and then go fall off a building in against City or Madrid. So it's about starting somewhere, stopping the bleeding, and building that sense of consistency. So I think 2-1 is the most likely result.
All right, Toby, what do you think? Clean sheet, good performance, and everyone's happy, or a more sober result?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the coward's route on this and not make a goal prediction. I just don't think in terms of that, but I'm going to predict a Liverpool win. I don't know why or what about this game, but I feel confident, and I'll take the shit if we lose. Even though I don't want to, but I do think Liverpool will win. I just have a feeling about this one.
Okay. No, you think we will concede?
Yeah, unfortunately so, because we haven't been able to keep a clean sheet.
I should probably ask the same question again. Is okay when we concede? Do you think it's a long throw, a free kick, or a corner?
Harry, now you're taking the piss out of us. I will give the political answer and say that I think Villa's going to score a goal.
Okay, Craig, you're last.
Oh Christ! I'm not stopped laughing from what Dan said yet. I'm just gone. Well, right. I mean, this is probably the first. I was thinking about it this afternoon. This is probably the first time ever in my life I've done this, and I'm going for a defeat. I think we'll get beat 2-1. And I've never ever said that we'd lose at home. I just think, I think we'll put a good performance in, but I just think I've not seen anything that's convinced me yet that with 7 days on the training ground, he's going to turn it round. But I'm not blaming Arne Slot here. I think you might not agree with me here, but and Arne Slot's getting all the pelters, right? He's getting all the shit, as Dan's just said. I think the players have got to take responsibility here. I think that every single one of them, to a man, have got to step up tomorrow night. And no matter what, they bring it home. But I'm going 2-1 Aston Villa.
All right. I kind of can't stop laughing right now because...
No, can I? I'm crying here, actually.
Hold the red line of delusion. You have to be a delusional optimist to be a Liverpool fan, to be from Merseyside.
But the point is here that I've been nicknamed the voice of treason. I think we can throw that one under the bus now, once and for all. And Craig has given me now the possibility to finish the show like my biggest TV show fan favorite of all time, Top Gear. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. I want to thank you. Oh,
Mr. Clarkson. Yeah, did you know he's going to be a dad again?
Bloody hell. I just want to thank my co-host, Daniel, Toby, Craig. I want to thank everyone for watching. If you do like what we're doing, please give us a like, subscription, and a follow on our social media platforms. We hope you all have a good game tomorrow. Please remember to watch our post-game right after the game to see what reactions and comments we have on that one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, guys, and see you soon.
See you soon.